Now, in the last episode, our punishment was that we were not able to attack during the entire episode. We also have a challenge wheel that we have to complete or else we have to do a giveaway, and that was to get 5 base villagers, which obviously we couldn't complete. The good news is we found a beautiful shore biome, placed down our first village square, and then we actually were able to find a friend and hire Tomato Head to stay at our village. But today we have a brand new punishment, and thanks to some of you guys, your punishments have been added onto the wheel. So now let's spin and find out what today's punishment is going to be, which is no mining. So no marble, no ores, and we also have a challenge wheel. This is something that is a goal that we have to complete by the end of each episode. And if there's any that you guys have in mind, comment them down below. But today is going to be to build an aircraft, which isn't going to be too difficult considering we don't need any type of ore. Okay, this challenge is actually going to be so much harder than I thought because number one, we just built our village square, and in order to upgrade this thing, we do need granite. And in order to go ahead and make a vehicle, we need granite to upgrade our area so that we can unlock the machines that are going to unlock the materials needed for an aircraft. So this is going to be a really interesting episode, and we might just lose another challenge because they're extremely difficult. Now, because we can't actually go ahead and mine any of these rocks, the only thing that we're actually able to do is go ahead and just grab them off of the floor. Grabbing 20 of these is actually going to be extremely annoying to go ahead and do because using a pickaxe would have been so much easier. But I guess that this is the only way that we could possibly complete this challenge while having this punishment and even attempting to go ahead and upgrade our village. And I'm actually able to get my 20th piece of granite here to upgrade our village, but remember, we have a rival gang right next to our village here, so this is going to be interesting at some point in time, just not right now because I'm not going to bother them as I don't have any equipment, I don't have any charms, and I don't have anything to actually fight these guys. So with that 20 granite, we can officially upgrade our village up to level 2. That also gives us access to get a second villager, which would have been nice for the other challenge that we had, which was getting 5 villagers, but we can't get 5 villagers anyway. That challenge is long and gone. However, getting this up to level 2 is really nice because we did unlock some fishing docks, which is going to be useful in the future, as well as obviously more prefabs for that at the end of the day, I'm never going to use. So people might hate me for this because she's not rare in the slightest bit, but I do know that's because we cannot mine. We are going to have to get resources somehow, some way. So I think what I'm going to do actually is, in order to get us to the tier level 4 here and upgrade, we're going to need knot root, plank, and granite, which is going to require getting ourselves some of that granite. So what I'm going to do is upgrade a workbench. That way I can go ahead and give them some tools and then hire them to make all of the stuff I need. All right, so we have enough area to go ahead and place down a crafting bench now, which is really nice. That's a step in the right direction. However, Cuddle Team Leader is gone, so I lost my opportunity to hire a second player to run around with me. However, we can now officially create ourselves a forest axe and a pickaxe, as well as a fishing rod. We can get a dagger and a night shield, and then finally craft ourselves some torches at nighttime, which we definitely need. But we're also able to give ourselves a basic compass, which is very nice considering we were able to get some of the materials for that super early on, and then a forest axe to go ahead and chop down some trees. So let's go ahead and add this compass into our area here. So now we can see which direction we're going to be going into and know what we're looking at. And now we can finally start crafting ourselves some good material or grabbing us some good items because we now have an axe. One of those items is definitely going to be a bed for a second villager. You know, there's nothing better than swinging an axe at a tree 15 times to get yourself 3 pieces or 4 pieces of wood. You really can't beat this. I'm sure that nobody is jealous of me at this moment. So we're actually able to create a second bed assignment, which is really nice. We now just have to wait for a villager to come to our beautiful area here, which I'm sure that somebody will. But the next job that we have to do is actually to upgrade our bench area. This isn't going to be too difficult. We can find plank out in the wild, but we are going to have to fight some shell crabs. And if we die during this series, I have to give away stuff to you guys as well. So let's hope that we can fight these shell crabs with a villager and not die. All right, so before we even get started on our shell hunt, we actually signed in and have Beef Boss here ready to go with us. So I can actually have a second villager already. Both of them are experts when it comes to cooking. So now I have Beef Boss and Tomato Head. All I have to do now is actually grind just a little bit more. That way I can put down a grill and then put down an oven and put down anything that's going to help them cook us some really solid foods. So one thing that I didn't expect to do was actually follow these charms. Now these actually, oh my gosh, I just got smacked by this thing and nearly died already in the series. That would have been so embarrassing, but we do get our first shell, which is really nice. But now we have to find that charm once again and continue to follow this thing. If you guys didn't know, charms do give you some pretty decent items. So we're not allowed to mine or to farm or anything like that. We can woodcut and we can attack animals and stuff. But normally stuff like this isn't typically worth it. But because we just started the series and we don't have anything, we're actually able to get a sword out of this, which is actually pretty nice. So we have a brand new piece of bread, which will help out our health. And then we also got a sword, which is going to help when it comes to grabbing some of those shells, which it looks like there are some more shells in this open area here. So hopefully we can get 2 or 3 more of these bad boys. Go ahead and get rid of them pretty quickly. That way we can earn those shells very fast and then immediately start upgrading, because again, we do need to upgrade our village and make ourselves a aircraft. That way that we don't look bad at the game and embarrass myself in front of all of you guys. Actually found one of the crazy village setups that they have on this game. I kind of can't go in there because there are enemies there. But these buildings, I don't believe, are in day 1 worlds. I could absolutely be wrong about that, but I've never seen a village setup like this in day 1 worlds. So what this has is 5 or 6 buildings that are over there, a ton of copper bar crates, a bunch of enemies, but they do have chests in there as well. And what you guys can see behind this is an entire farm of corn. So this area on the map is actually pretty insane. They have so much stuff in this area, so much corn, pumpkin patches, and different things like that. I think that if I'm actually going to set up a grasslands area, this is going to be where I set it up. I'm super far away from my original village on this game, which is all the way back over here. But this area right here for grasslands is absolutely incredible when it comes to farming and even just the scenery, because I have a ton of pumpkin, corn, trees, granite, so many different things available right here, which is going to make life so much easier when it comes to that. So I think what I'm going to do actually is plant down a little map marker into this area here and just kind of put it down kind of like it could be a house, or maybe I'll just do a tree area and make that green color. That way I just remind myself, like, hey, come back to this area here, because this is one of the better areas that you can go to in the entire game right now when it comes to looting and farming. Because not only do I have that big house over there, but I have so much material and stuff that I can get over here as well, which is going to make this so nice. All right, so I actually ended up getting a ton of really solid loot here, and we'll break all of that down once we get back to our base. But the biggest issue that I have right now is that it's nighttime. I don't have too much food because pumpkins take way too long to take. But the moon is coming up, skeletons are coming out. I have absolutely no charms, so if I get surrounded by skeletons, this is going to be a really big problem. And as you guys can see, I am extremely far away from my main base as far as going on foot and not having an airship. So hopefully some of this stuff can get us back to our village to build ourselves an airship so that we don't have a problem when it comes to completing this challenge. All right, so we're back now. We got Tomato Head and Beef Boss just hanging out by the fire. It also looks like we got a little shore biome thing right here, like a brand new little fishing dock, which is cool. We could use that later on, or maybe build one on our own. We'll build one on our own. But now that we're back, we're able to go ahead and upgrade our bench at least one time. Now we need to go ahead and get sand shell, sand claw, marble, and knot root, which Obviously, we can't get marble with the current challenge that we have, which is no mining, but as far as our inventory goes, we are absolutely stacked on materials now. This does allow us to at least create a lumber mill, which I will just put right here. Don't worry about the organization of this, but now that we can do that, we did unlock more items inside of here, including the composite bin, which is nice for vehicles. We also have the spinning wheel and different items like that. So in order to go ahead and really work on a lot of this stuff, what we're going to have to do is collect more granite. That way we can go ahead and make more lumber mills and really get to work on all of the stuff that we need to get to work on. The other thing that we need to do before the next episode is make sure that our villagers are actually going to do things for us. So I'll make sure that one of them is refining wood, and I'll make sure that the other one, for now, before we get our grill and our oven set up, before these two go on to their actual jobs of doing, actual cooking, we'll make sure that they're just doing local resources and things of that nature just to go ahead and help us out. So for this episode alone, we did get a ton of stuff done. Obviously, we got a lot of materials that we're going to be able to use to upgrade things and to do bigger things with, so we're kind of scaling and moving very quick. The only thing I think that we could have done better was being able to mine things, probably, and get ourselves some marble or actually do some cave exploring. But in the next episode, hopefully, we are able to use our axe and we're able to use our pickaxe so that we could actually fully scale this thing and start working hard on the village.